Hello and welcome to my CNC build log. This is the final part of the Z-axis build. I'm going to be mounting the front plate that's now pretty well complete and adding the mount for the spindle. So as you can see, the carriages that will support the rails are now fixed in place, and the ball screw. And here's the plate that has the rails now nice and accurately attached to it. I've bought this spindle mount off eBay. It's relatively inexpensive casting. You could make these yourself, I suppose, but it would be rather difficult. I've just laid out here the three bolts that I'm going to use on each side to mount it. And the first thing to get done is to mark out where those are going to be fitted, so they're pretty well spaced out. I'm not too concerned at this stage about how accurately, although I'm going to be fairly accurate, I'm not too concerned at how accurately it's marked out, because I'm going to use a transfer punch to mark onto the plate where it's going to be fixed, and so the holes will be very accurately aligned by that. And also the holes are going to be quite oversized, so I'm going to use three bolts, two on each side are going to be fixed straight through into the plate and tapped, and then one in the middle I'll use to adjust the spacing so that it's nice and adjustable to make sure the spindle is straight and true and at 90 degrees to the bed. So I always follow several steps when I'm drilling metal. First is to mark it out and then center punch it like this. That makes sure that the drill bit doesn't rear off. And then I always use a center drill or a little spot drill to start the hole, again so that the larger drills don't make their way off center. This was a bit more tricky though, as you'll see later, because of the shoulders on the side of the mount was so high. I actually couldn't get my center drill down past it, so I've had to just give it a good whack with the center drill. There's me trying with the center drill, it didn't work. Sorry, my head's in the way, but here I'm just drilling the holes. Just increasing the drill size each time. And then tapping the holes in the central holes. So those were drilled smaller so that they could take the tap, and that will allow me to adjust the tramming on the spindle. Hopefully, that's the theory anyway. And then this is the transfer punch then. So once I've got it positioned accurately, use the transfer punch and then make the holes from the transfer punch a bit more definite with the center punch. And then drill the holes. There's two of them drilled, and tapping them. And then there's four drilled and tapped. So once that was done, I could then get the plate mounted. So that involved sliding it onto the carriages, making sure not to lose the ball bearings out of the carriages. And then finally mounting the spindle mount itself. And so that's the Z-axis pretty well complete. All it needs now is to finish putting the spindle in place, and then I need to finish the electronics and add the belt so that it can be lifted up and down. So it's, yeah, Z-axis is pretty well there, and I shall finish that off in the next video, I think. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you want to be knowing when the next video is coming out, and I hope you've enjoyed it.